This is your old pal Hondo doing a quick review on the Iaconelli Ike Dude Never Give Up Abu Garcia budget combo. It's one of their entry-level budget combos from basically Abu Garcia. Now I will say this, I know you're probably going to tear me up in the comments. I know a lot of you people probably grew up fishing with these rods. I got this one for free from a yard sale. The guy was just throwing them out. He had a bunch of poles, and this was one of them. I cleaned it up. I basically restored the reel to new, basically, but it was really bad shape, let me tell you. When I first got it, it was dirty, cobwebs, couldn't crank over. I took it apart, cleaned the reel, and basically re-lubed it with grease and stuff. Basically restored the reel. It's a reel, you know what I mean? It's easy to work on. I will say that first of all about this reel. This Iaconelli Never Give Up Ike Dude reel was really simple to work on. Take it apart, refurbish it, basically back to brand new. Some of the things I like about the reel is the rod. The rod is great, and Ike himself, if you go back and watch the review of the Ike Dude fishing rod, says that you can cast inline spinners, probably 1/8 ounce spinner, inline spinners with it. You can use regular bait fishing with it. You could use, wacky worms, and stuff like that with either 4 to 6 to 8 pound tests. That's what it's rated for. If I had to give you my advice, I would use 6 pound tests with it. I got 8 on it right now. I've been using it for like 3 or 4 years. The rod's great. 24 there. It's basically their standard Abu Garcia Max series 24 ton graphite rods, except these rods have the split 2-piece right here instead of the whole solid rod like the Max series rods and reels do, or the Revo rods and reel combos do. But it's still a genuine Abu Garcia 24 ton graphite rod, basically an IM6 rod. It's a medium action, 6 foot, fast tip, good entry level type of rod and reel for a kid. Maybe it's basically what it's marketed around, is to, basically get a kid his first fishing rod. I do own it. I use it regularly. I may give it to some kid down the road that don't have a pole or something at a fishing pond or a lake I go fishing at usually, because I find these all the time at yard sales and stuff for free. So share the love and pass the buck, you know what I'm saying, to basically get a kid into fishing would be great. So I give that to him. The first thing I don't like about the reel is the drag knob on the front of the reel does not click. So whenever you're using this reel and you're reeling it, it has a nagging it has this like nagging issue about loosening the drag up. So you got to constantly tighten the drag like that every once in a while, which can be annoying and could cost you a lot of fish. Ike did say you can catch bluegill with it. I've caught bluegill with it. You can catch trout, you can catch bass and blah blah blah, etc. I've done it all with this rod and reel. I've even went saltwater fishing with this rod and reel. Caught sheephead, whitefish, whiting at the Chesapeake Bay with this a couple years ago. It performed okay. Again, like I said, the drag is very nagging. The original Ike Dude rods, which was from the original video, which I'll put right here of him talking about it.
Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli here. I want to talk to you about a brand new combo that I have coming out from Abu Garcia. It's called the Ike Dude combo. And my family started me fishing when I was very young, and when I started fishing at a very early age, there was either really cheap equipment or really expensive equipment. There wasn't really a starter combo to get in that was an awesome rod. And that's what I wanted to do with this Ike Dude combo, is design an awesome rod at a good price. And I designed a rod that you can catch anything that swims with. Of course, you can catch bass, crappie, bluegill, catfish, trout. Anything that swims, you're gonna be able to catch with this. It's a 6 foot medium action spinning rod. It's got an awesome Abu Garcia reel, 4:9 to 1 gear ratio reel. It's perfect for light line, 6, 8, or 10 pound tests. It's perfect for shaky heading, inline spinners, live bait, anything you like to throw. And the other thing I wanted is
Okay, that was the video, and he basically said, but I guess they improved upon the budget option reel, which is the Ike reel, which you can see right here has these like weird little teeth. And he wanted a cool paint design, which I really don't care for the paint design, honestly. A fishing rod for me is supposed to function properly the way it was intended and designed. The reel he said in that video, it was a long time ago, it was 13 years ago, was 4:8 to 1 gear ratio. They improved the gear ratio to 5 2 to 1, which is not bad. It reels really smoothly. The only gripe, that's one of the gripes I have about the reel, is the stupid drag knob loosening up every single time you reel it in. And over here you have this nagging knob right here. If you guys see the wiggle, if you can tell it's not quality, you know, like a Max or a Abu Garcia Silver Series reel or even a Revo. But it does cast fairly smooth for what it is, and it, you know, it functions fairly well. The rod's, I think the rod is better than the reel. I do like the overmolded handle seat right here. It doesn't have one of those stupid screw-in tops to chew up with your real foot or whatnot. Handle crank is okay, I guess, aluminum, but feels cheap, and the little plastic knob here is not all that great. And this is basically the same design that they still sell at Walmart for $49. But for $49, you get what you pay for with the Abu Garcia Ike Dude Never Give Up rod, which is, it's good for an entry-level rod for some kids fishing on the bank with some minnows, or, you know, wacky worm rod. But when you start using heavier lures that are around 3 ounces, but it's, the rod can handle up to a 5.8 ounce lure. But I find that the reel gets really sluggish when you're trying to use a hidden walking bait or a popper or something like that. It really struggles, and you can hear it whining a lot in the reel. So it's kind of got its ups and downs. It's good for bait fishing. I find it works really well for wacky rigs and like lighter, basically Texas rigs with, you know, weighted worms or some kind of plastic bait or something. It works okay for that. If you're slow rolling it on the bottom, dragging it, or you know, some kind of like brush bait, like a crawdad creature bait or something like that, it works well with that. I tried Texas, I tried Carolina rigs with it. It doesn't really work good with you know, Carolina rigs with an ounce weight. You start using an ounce weight with this thing, with the trailer hook and the leader and stuff, it starts to struggle. But other than that, if you're using bait, lighter line maybe, I found that 6-pound test really works well on this reel over the 8, and the 4 works even better. I've tried 10-pound braid on it. It works really good. 10-pound, 20-pound braid. You can go up to, like, I guess 50 if you really wanted to. But I find that braid works really well. And if you use some kind of like monofilament leader with a uni knot and using it for, like, you know, deep water type of wacky rigging action, it works really well for that. Top water is okay with certain lures. Lighter lures, like, you know, lighter spinner baits, lighter smaller profile, like inline spinners and stuff like that, or, you know, like almost micro baits. But you start using bigger, heavier spinning lures and stuff like that, it's where the reel kind of struggles with certain lures. Anything heavier than 2 ounces, you start getting really struggle, kind of get the struggle bus with this thing. But other than that, it's not a bad combo. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a, out of like a 10-star rating, I'd probably give it a generous 4.5 stars. Not one of my favorite reel combos, but I've used it before and I've caught tons of fish with it. It works, except, you know, it feels a little cheap in the handle, and it feels a little bit cheap in the drag knob. I think it has a 13-14 pound drag. It's a 2000 series type of reel with a medium action type of rod. It's basically the type of rod you want to start out with, an entry-level fishing rod for anybody. Is it worth $49? No, it's not. I think they should drop the price down on it a little bit, maybe like 30 bucks. And sometimes in some cases you can find them for around about that when they're on sale at Walmart. So not a bad combo, not the best combo from Abu Garcia. And I do love Abu Garcia. It's one of my favorite reel companies, but this is not one of my favorite rods. But it does work a lot better than a lot of the LEWS combos around that same price range. So I kind of give it a little bit better props than any of the LEWS spinning reels. I hate LEWS spinning reels. These work fairly well, a little bit better, I guess. But like I said, if you can overlook the stupid drag knob and the janky type of handle crank, it's an okay combo. The rod really sells the combo. I like the rod. Don't like the paint scheme. Not my favorite looking paint scheme. It doesn't got to be all flashy looking and crap. You know, it could look like a turkey leg, and as long as it functions as properly as it is, it should be Should be a good combo. Now I forgot to mention these are glass eyes, so not really good for fishing with braid. More monofilament, more design monofilament, or you know, type of fluorocarbon type of line. I mean, if you don't really care about the reel and rod setup, you can go with braid. That's totally your option. That's just my opinion. I don't like braid. I like fluorocarbon and I like mono, so that's kind of my thing. My own opinion. Okay guys, if you like this review on this video, give it 4 out of 10 stars. Not bad, but not great, but not nowhere as worse as a LEWS combo that I've used out there over the years. If you can overlook some of the shortcomings of the reel. Okay guys, it's been your old pal Hondo on another rod review on the Ike Iaconelli Never Give Up Mike Iaconelli rod combo, dude, Ike Dude combo, whatever, Mike Dude combo, whatever you want to call it. It's okay. It's a good buy for a kid, you know, you don't care if he breaks it, kind of thing. Okay guys, this has been your old pal Hondo from Hillbilly Tactical on another short rod review video. You put God first, you put you first every time in his life as you do in his life. This has been your old pal Hondo. Peace.